It's in a duck season. I'm out here trying to put the old boat back up on its rack and sack up the decoys and put things up for another year. And hopefully I'll have another year next year. But I've been thinking about some things, some observations that I've noticed over my past years of duck hunting. And so I'm going to tell you a little old story. Now, it's a story about hunter ethics. And us duck hunters, we seem to run into that problem pretty often. And we shouldn't have to. Now, a few seasons back, I was set up hunting down here on a lake. And an old makeshift brush blind on an earthen dike that runs up beside the river there for about a half mile on a flooded bean field. And I had my usual dozens of decoys set out. And I heard a big old loud duck boat motor coming down the river. Now I hoped it wouldn't stop, at least not near me, but it did. And the two men got out and they started wading across the field and to the dike over where I was. So I stood up to show them that I was there. And all I got was a good loud cussing, and they had the right to hunt wherever they wanted to, sort of explanation, I guess. And they set out their dadgum decoys about 50 yards from me. Now, buddy, I can tell you my temper flared, but only for a minute. I started picking up my decoys because the chance to shoot an old gadwall duck just ain't worth the trouble that it costs. So I come on home to a good warm fire and I'll hunt another day. Now these two young men that I mentioned, now they seemed, I don't know, it seemed like it was mad to start with, and it was in a hurry. And I don't believe they could have enjoyed a good duck hunt anyway. Now they come up there in a big old fancy duck boat and motor. Probably cost, I don't know, $15,000-$20,000 or so. And they probably parked a $50,000 four-wheel drive truck at the boat launch. And they was both dressed out in the latest camo patterns and coats and waders, and they carried big old expensive auto loading shotguns, and I'm sure they had an ample supply of Magnum shells. And they had them old battery powered decoys and all kinds of other gear. I guess it cost thousands of dollars more that they had invested in this hunt. And I believe them two fellas, they was desperate to bag something, so I guess they could take some pictures and put it on their Facebook like everybody does. So they could, I guess, show that they were master hunters. Now I might take a few liberties with this little old story, but I assure you that the following is real fact. Now, on the other hand, you look at me. I'm an old man, and I was paddling an old 27-year-old old guide duck boat. with an old homemade double end paddle. And about a dozen old decoys that very few of them it's the same brand. And an old tore up decoy bag. And I wear a lot of times Army surplus or cast off type clothes, camouflage, of every different color you could think of. And a patched up old pair of 6 or 7 year old waders. And I got a choice of a couple of different coats, about 25 or 30 years old apiece. And my headgear, an old cap, is a cap that I got from L.L. Bean back in 1975. An old Elmer Fudd hat is what I wear most of the time. And I wear this Harris tweed hat a lot too. It's comfortable. And the guns I shoot, they're the old Mossberg Revelation, that the heck I've owned and bought back in 1969 and earlier. And I use the cheapest old Winchester shot shells that I can procure for hunting. And my truck, if I decide to haul my boat anywhere, is a 1994 Chevrolet. And in very good repair this week. Now I don't have to kill a duck every time I hunt to have a good hunt. I've been doing this for over 50 years. And I've enjoyed just about every minute of it. And the only thing that I want more of is more years to hunt. Now, I chose not to get involved in turmoil that day. The ducks, I think they joined me in that endeavor. For it was awful quiet on the shooting grounds that night. Well, I'm the same old Ted McCoy. And I hope some of these new hunters coming up will take it a little bit, I guess, more serious. And enjoy yourself. That's what hunting's all about. If you don't enjoy yourself, heck, far stay home. Let the rest of us do it. Well, maybe we'll see each other out there next year.